Cenk, I honestly have had enough of the royal family, down with the crown. But there has been the aftermath of the interview that has really exposed and shined a lot of light on the manner of thinking that actually exists across the pond. And there's a talking point, a really consistent talking point that has come from some top voices that you might recognize from the UK. The first and foremost is Nigel Farage, former leader of the Brexit movement. He had this to say about the lack of racism in the UK. Let's take a listen in.
The Queen and the royal family have spent the last 70 years touring round the Commonwealth. The vast majority of those people are black and Asian. I would put it to you, nobody in the world in history has done more for people of color than the British royal family. I'm disgusted, the British people are disgusted, and by a majority of 2-1, opinion polls now say we want them stripped of their titles.
Okay, so that's the first one. Before I even respond, that is a talking point that is now being forwarded. This is Richard Menards. He's a British columnist, and he said basically the same thing. Take a listen in.
Richard Menards joins me now. Richard, good to see you today. So what's your take on all of this, sir?
Well, it's opened an enormous Pandora's box, but I have to say straight away, I don't think the royal family is racist. You've got to remember that for nearly half a century, the Queen has been the head of the Commonwealth, which is a number of lands around the world that were from the colonial days, and the majority of the people who live in those lands are black or Asian. So the Queen is far from being a racist, and I don't think the royal family as a whole is racist, as William said this morning in London.
Now, it is as absurd as it sounds, as if there's nothing racist about colonialism. But even today, presently, I want to take a look at this image from Twitter of Prince William and his wife. The first one, this image that you're looking at now is from earlier this week. And they have conveniently placed a black woman in their shot. And while they're dressed in warm clothing, they made sure that her print was able to be seen nice and comfortably in that frigid weather. But there's also another image from some of the colonial, the imagery that you think of when you think of British colonialism. And it is an image of Prince William's being carried on his shoulders, on the shoulders of the people that they rule over. And then obviously his wife is in the next picture doing the same thing. So the idea here that colonialism itself is not a racist institution, that white supremacy was not at the core of it, that they are not the original colonizers, that they are not the original white supremacists spreading their white supremacy across the globe. The sun never set on the British Empire, but the assertion that these people should be grateful, that's really the subtext, is that they should be grateful for the Queen and for the British crown coming and conquering their lands using divide and conquer tactics. That is the cornerstone of white supremacy. It is the absurdity of it all, Cenk. There's a little bit more, but I just want to yield the floor. What do you think?
Yeah, so first of all, in those pictures of Prince William being carried on the throne on the backs of black people, I'm sure that they meant it in an honorific way and it's part of some sort of tradition, etc. Don't do that. Okay, that's just don't. The optics of that is so horrific. Don't, yeah, that's easy. Okay, so and then, but let's. Well, actually, one more, it's almost side point. It's the point that Ben made that's so good. Look at those two videos. I mean, the right wing, when they get a memo sent to them with talking points, they execute it. They all say the same exact thing. And to be fair to them, it's smart political strategy. They blanket the airwaves with whatever absurdity they have, and most people just hear that. And the Democrats or progressives or liberals or whatever, they're all disparate, different messages, and nobody ever hears that side. And so that's how they win a lot of these media wars. Now, but this particular talking point, the substance of this issue. We colonized billions, literally billions of black, brown, and Asian people. And we took all their natural resources, literally robbed them blind. And in doing so, often enslaved them, murdered them, and certainly subjugated them. That's why they should be so thankful to us. you're serious? Like they, with a straight face, they said it. The Fox News anchors were like, oh yeah, brilliant point. That's, what the British royal family did to India was just brilliant, really brilliant. No, it wasn't. It was horrific. So they just live in an alternate reality.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, it's almost like, where do you even start? And it's just so ingrained into the whole mentality of the institution, and then a lot of these people that are speaking out in the public. It's, yeah, of course it's racist. Of course they're racist. They're elitist and they're racist, and that is the whole point. And I don't even know what you do with that, but this idea, like, if you had somebody that at some point, cleaned your house and they were black, then how could I be racist? Like, what the heck? Like, what are you talking about? It's like unbelievable. So I think it's just good that this is getting exposed, and then, all right, and then we can move forward. And again, like I was saying earlier, and also there can be some honest conversations about the racism that is permeating inevitably other parts of the country, and people can talk about it.
And the other thing about this that blows me away is the extent to which right-wing media, as well as just conservatives in this country, have been willing to make league with the British Empire, as if we didn't fight an entire revolutionary war around colonization and getting our independence. But you see, that was Newsmax, right? That was Newsmax and Fox News, and they find common cause with white supremacy, and they are willing to set aside. Unlike Meghan McCain, where she had that segment this week where she, basically said she agrees with Oprah and Meghan Markle because, she wanted to be on the side of the revolutionaries. Cool, Meghan, good, right? But the rest of her conservative friends are like, no, it's totally okay. Let's put the crown above this issue because, well, you know what? White supremacy is more important to Fox, Newsmax, and the rest of the conservatives in this country than it is for them to stay true to all the stuff that they talk about in terms of patriotism.
Yeah, it's such a great point, Ben. We literally did a revolution against those guys. Okay.
We don't like them.
Yeah.
For this exact reason.
Yeah, and you know why we did the revolution? Because they were subjugating us, and they were an authoritarian monarchy, and we wanted democracy. So, but now, the right wing in this country is like, authoritarian monarchy. It's kind of interesting. Now that we can't win in a democracy anymore, monarchy doesn't sound so bad, right? And they've always been authoritarian by nature, which brings me back to their reaction to Obama. If you remember, we covered these stories on TYT back in the day. They had a whole round of attacking Obama for being anti-colonialist. And I remember just being like perplexed. Wait, are you pro-colonialism? I mean, that doesn't make sense on so many levels. Number one of which is what Ben said. They colonized us. we did, like, not us as in like minorities, us as in America. Remember the whole American Revolution. But then secondly, the whole point of colonialism wasn't to go out handing out roses and candy. It was to go and take over those lands and steal the resources and varying degrees of enslavement of the local population. That's literally the point of colonialism. So how could anybody be pro-colonialism in this day and age? It's like, it's amazing to me. But Newt Gingrich had an article, and then of course they sent out their different, folks who are their kept people. So in that case, they sent out Dinesh D'Souza to say, oh, colonialism is great. I can't believe Obama's against colonialism. Dude, Dinesh, have you ever looked in the mirror? Do you have any idea where you come from, right? And so but hey, listen, the famous Maya Angelou line, somebody tells you who they are, believe them, right? And here they are, they're saying, yeah, we love colonialism. We love authoritarian rule that subjugate billions of people. And we're so privileged and bathe in our privilege that we actually think that you think it's great for you too. Like, hey, white people ruled over you, congratulations. And then the royal family were so nice, they came and even met you lower people. For 70 years, they've been going around, they deigned to even meet you. How are you not sending us thank you notes? They truly believe it. That's the most amazing part.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting where they even go from here, because it seems like they're gonna maybe try to ride the wave, do these little public appearances with some black tokens, and then hope this all goes away. But I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be that easy to just let this go away. You got to have some answer to the accusation of we are inherently a racist institution, and photo ops are probably not going to get that done.
Oh yeah, no, they are inherent. Thank you for saying it just like that. They are inherently a racist institution, and well, there's solutions to that as well.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.